On First News today, we're out in a, well, it's not a Valencia orange grove, it's not a navel orange grove, it's a Mineola grove. I can't say orange because I heard from John Lowry, who is a research scientist, that this is not an orange. Huh?
These are Mineola Tangerines, George. They're a cross between a Duncan grapefruit and a Dancy tangerine. They were developed in Florida some 50 years ago.
But it brings up another name that people may not be familiar with, Tangelo.
Well, Tangelos are crosses between tangerines and grapefruit. There is another variety, Orlando, an earlier variety, but this is the variety I like best. It has some characteristics that are very desirable to consumers.
Well, John, Tangelo then would be like saying a navel orange or Valencia orange. This is a Tangelo.
Yes, it's a totally different variety.
Okay, now what makes this so good? You really like this Mineola.
Yes, when I see people from different parts of the country, a lot of people don't know what this variety is, so I'm always glad to promote it because I think it is just a great variety. You can tell it has good color, good size with the fruit. They peel easily, they're very juicy, and they have few seeds too, and they're very sweet fruit.
Now, can these be juiced or anything like that?
They can be juiced or just eaten whole, peeled and eaten whole. Either way, they're a great fruit.
A lot of people claim that the Mineola is a lot sweeter than the Valencia or the navel orange. Is that correct?
Well, as far as soluble sugars, I'd say it's a little less than navels, but more so than the Valencias. But it has its own tangy, tart flavor, which most people seem to really enjoy.
What do you see for the market right now? California was a devastated loss when I was up there. The oranges were all laying in between the trees, on the ground, down, and they've lost tremendously. Will this help to replace that crop?
Yes, it will, unfortunately, and it's not just that way with citrus, but all types of agriculture nowadays. If you have a disaster in one area, that will help the markets in other areas. With that recent freeze in the San Joaquin Valley around right between Christmas and New Year's, that they lost a great percentage of their crops, so that made they're filling in the niche in that market. They put these into some new markets this year, Sunkist has, and they tell me they're very well received also.
Okay, so it looks like Mineola is going to catch on. What about the lemon crop, John? We saw some losses in California's San Joaquin Valley, but not so in Ventura.
We've had actually have had a good lemon year overall. It's winding down. Ventura County didn't. That's the largest lemon producing area. They didn't have that much of a freeze, and now their production is gearing up, while ours is winding down. Most of the good fruit, the best fruit, inside fruit, has already been harvested.
How close are we to the end of the citrus harvesting season?
The sheds will quit picking all the lemons, I'm sure, by the middle of March, what they tell me. There'll be Valencia oranges. Some of those groves are still left, and the markets will be very good on them also. They'll help fill up this niche left by the demise of the navel crop this year.
Now, one homeowner tip, someone asked me about the whitewashing of oranges. Is that still popular, or lemons?
Well, that's something we do in the summer so these don't sunburn on the south and west parts of the tree, the outside fruit. When we get those real hot days, they can sunburn, and it'll dry out that portion of the fruit.
The man who knows about citrus is John Lowry, and John's a research scientist with the University of Arizona. He's located at the Agricultural Center up in the Yuma Mesa. And I'm George Gatley, and I'm going to be eating a Mineola right on KYMA First News Today.